I'm Emily and welcome back to my channel. So it's probably been about like 2 months since I last filmed a video and at least a month since I've uploaded to my channel. I have been super busy and I've just been exhausted whenever I'm home to get any filming done, so I just haven't done it. But I kind of figured one of my worst habits is dropping things because other things get in the way, and I've decided that even if I'm not going to be consistent about it, I am going to try and upload something. So basically, I won't have time to edit this. I'm just gonna upload, just gonna say what I have to say and then just upload it on the spot, and hopefully I don't look too tragic, which I actually kind of do, but that's okay, I think. So what I want to talk about was saying goodbye to the Fosters. So The Fosters, if you don't know, is a show that started in 2013. Um, it's a show which has kind of touched my heart for a very long time. I actually haven't watched the show probably since the middle or the end of season 3. Because I got sick of torrenting my TV shows. I fell out of love with a few storylines which were just holding the show back, and I just didn't want to put myself through it. But even when I gave up the show, I continued to follow what was going on. And the reason that was really important to me is because I really like the show's values and what it explored when I was watching it and beyond that. So, in terms of the reason the show really interested me in the first place was the fact that it drilled down on the idea that family doesn't have to be, that there is no, I guess, tradition, like you don't have to be a traditional family to be a family. The center family of the show is made up of children they've adopted, a biological son, people like, as you kind of watch the show, you'll kind of see that like Steph and Lena became parents to people by choice, not because they were forced to. And I think that's something that's really, I guess, amazing about the show. There's a quote, really early in the series where they were saying, like that they might not have given birth to their children, but they chose them, and that's something that's kind of always stuck out to me. That while Callie and Mariana and Jesus have all talked about how being part of the foster care system made them feel like they weren't wanted, the fact that they ended up in this family highlighted that someone chose them, and that was just something that's really stuck out to me, and I think it's a really important message. So I've always loved that, I guess, a feel good but also realistic nature of that. But I've also liked the show for being unafraid of taking risks. And when I say that, I mean taking risks in topics which I guess are less clear cut. I guess the most recent example is, I don't live in America, but I mean, you have to live under a rock to not know that America's social landscape has changed a lot in the last year and a half, probably 2 years. And there are more conversations about various things, one of them being immigration and DACA status and stuff like that. And I think one of the most amazing things that Foster's has done recently, which I unfortunately haven't been a part of by not watching, has been being unrelentingly blunt when it comes to indicting the system which is tearing families apart, which is sending people back to a home that they never grew up in, forcing them to, I guess, leave their home because of some unsubstantiated claim that they're not American enough. And I love how Callie, I guess, never succumbs to pressure and refuses to let people tell her that they're right, because she knows, because she's a person who holds strong values, that It's not right what they're doing. This video is a little bit jumbled, and I know that I just haven't really prepared anything, to be honest. I just kind of want to talk about some of the things which really made this show special to me. Another thing which kind of really stuck out to me was something I've actually done a video for. I did for my friend's birthday 2 years ago, and it was Mariana video. And as I already said, she's adopted, but one thing I want to state was her Latina heritage to her is something that's inherently tied to her estranged but later better relationship with her mum. Like, her relationship with her mum wasn't very good the first few seasons, which is fair enough. Let's not get into why. And there was a scene in the early season 3 which really struck me, which was Mariana feeling really uncomfortable having people celebrate her culture because it was a connection to a mum who, I guess, abandoned her. And it kind of raised a really good question to me about how do you reconcile the culture in which you belong with because of your biological parents when your biological parents aren't people that you're close to. How can you possibly deal with these kind of identity crises all the time? And I think the Fosters actually captures this really well, which kind of brings me to another character where I want to discuss a bit of identity crisis and that internalized hatred of either yourself or a certain part of yourself because of the circumstances that you've lived in. So, one of the mums' name is Steph Adams Foster. She was actually married to a man at some point, and she had a kid with him, who is Brandon Adams Foster. After she separated from Mike, she fell in love with Lena Adams Foster, and I mean that's simple enough, I guess. Not really, but what kind of really shocked me was meeting Lena's dad. I mean, not Lena's dad, Steph's dad, because suddenly Steph became like a shell of herself. She was more negative. She was abrasive when they were planning their wedding. And then she goes to her dad and she tells him that there's a voice inside her head which tells her that what she and her fiance, they'll get married after, are doing is wrong. That there shouldn't be two women getting up in front of their friends and family telling that they love each other, that it's wrong. And it's a voice in her head which causes her to lash out at the people that she loves the most. And then it clicks for her. The reason she holds on to that feeling so badly is because of her dad. Her dad's embedded that feeling in her. He's made his feelings about her sexuality. He's made her feel smaller because of her sexuality. He's tried to convert her through really, let's just say, not what I don't think should be legal means. But what's really always struck me is how well the Fosters captured the emotional trauma of it all, how much it affects Steph, even to the point that 5 years later, which in the almost season finale, Steph admits that this issue re-arises for her again when one of Steph's exes moves in next door, because as she sees one of her ex's family fall apart because that ex has finally fully admitted that she's gay, Steph worries that she's going to lose everything because she doesn't deserve it, because the fact that she broke up with family means she doesn't deserve to be happy, that her sexuality doesn't mean she doesn't deserve to be happy. It's so, I guess, scary, but also so real to see that type of insecurity realize itself through different catalysts. I think what I really appreciate about the show is how well it ties those threads, those themes of resentment and hatred and family, and like the Fosters really captures themes really well, whether it be exploring the concept of role models, whether it be exploring sexuality, the effect of trauma, a whole bunch of things, and then it kind of can tell a story from it. One of my biggest problems with the Fosters was sometimes it tries to be bigger than it was. I think my biggest problem with the Fosters and why I gave it up originally in the first place was because it became too soapy for me in certain areas, and it was something I couldn't handle because that was one of the most. It wasn't unrealistic, but it was unnecessary for a show that had so much rooted in reality to have this, I guess, overarching love story that didn't feel grounded enough to be within the show. But I think the Fosters did a lot right, and I am grateful that I've seen the show. I am super excited for the summer finale. I will be watching it. It airs in a 3-day summer special, June 4th, I think, to June 6th, or something like that. And it's meant to also set up the groundwork for the spin-off with Callie and Mariana. I'm super, super excited, but until then, if you haven't watched The Fosters, I suggest you check it out. I'm obviously not the perfect advocate because I never finished the show, but I promise you it is really a great show. There's some stuff which makes it not perfect, but the Fosters' commitment to telling stories which aren't necessarily always told is something that's always going to stick out to me, and I will appreciate the show forever. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'm just going to post this and hope that it makes sense. And I will see you guys next time. Bye! Oh, if you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel and all that stuff. I'll leave all the links in the description of, I guess, my blog and some other videos I've done. I don't know yet, I haven't decided. And thanks for watching. See ya!